Texas League Baseball is next. And a good Thursday night, everybody. We welcome you into Texas League Baseball. And now here is the voice of your San Antonio Missions, John Baker. Well, thank you, Bob. Good evening, everybody. We welcome you into the live broadcast of Texas League Baseball. It is the third game of our 6-game set between the visiting Frisco RoughRiders and your Flying Chanclas, the San Antonio. Well, tonight is Taco Bell Value Night here at the ballpark. So far, hope everybody loves tacos. If San Antonio players overturn double plays against Frisco, they could come in and get 2 crispy tacos courtesy of Taco Bell. Series continues tomorrow night for $2 Dr. Pepper night and soft drinks and food all night long, courtesy of the Flying Chanclas. Saturday, stay tuned for post-game fireworks after the ball game. Make sure you stay in your seats for the best spectacle that there ever is. That is the best of fireworks shows. Sunday night, we'll continue the series as it'll be the final game against Frisco and San Antonio. Missions will start their 12 games next week on the road as they lead off in Corpus Christi and then the second week in Arkansas. Missions will be back home on the last day of June as we get ready to close out June with the visiting Amarillo Sod Poodles. Go online now at samissions.com, purchase and print your tickets from home. You can also follow us all season long with Bally Live and YouTube Live. Make sure you get on, and hey, these things do not cost anything, so you do not have to worry about your pocketbook or whatever. Just put that away. Well, anyway, joined in the booth by my partner and friend Bob. How you doing there, Bob?
Doing good. How are you?
Doing good there, Bob. Well, as of last night, the Frisco RoughRiders shut out San Antonio 6-0. And gotta say, Bob, that was a pretty good ball game. Texas Ranger fans, Frisco fans, they really cheered on for this Double-A affiliate, and so far, pretty good in this one.
Yeah, I got to say, the Frisco RoughRiders really got going, and they really started hitting some base hits and stuff. Now these two teams are tied up at 31 even in win and losses, and so far going to be pretty good. And tonight, whoever takes this one, if Frisco takes it, it will put San Antonio down to 32-26. If they win here tonight, that will be a first-place position for the Frisco RoughRiders. If San Antonio wins it, they'll continue their first-place position trend, which that would be pretty good, but we'll see how everything turns out in this one. Got to say, Bob, absolutely right. And so far as we look at the South and North Division teams here, we look at San Antonio and Frisco in a foot race with 31 even. Missions holding that first place position. Frisco in second place. Midland 28-29. They are 3.5 games back between San Antonio and Frisco. Amarillo 4.5. Corpus Christi at least 7.5 against San Antonio and the RoughRiders. Tulsa at 38. They lead in first place in the North. Arkansas at 36. So 2.5 games trailing the Tulsa Drillers. Northwest Arkansas 26. They definitely won last night against Arkansas. Really good in extra innings. Wichita 25, even with Springfield. And so far, that is the South and North divisions on what we see in the win and loss columns here in this one. But anyway, tonight as we get ready for Taco Bell Value Night, we're super excited and we cannot wait to start playing the game here tonight as we bring you the broadcast. And so far, we're just super excited. Well, Frisco and San Antonio about set to go. Corpus Christi and Midland there at Franco Park about ready to rock and roll. And so far, yeah, it's a pretty good night last night as we give you the final scores. Midland took it 7-5 against Corpus Christi. Northwest Arkansas through 10 will take that game in Arkansas by a final of 5-4. And so far, Frisco took it against San Antonio 6-0, which that was a pretty good ball game. Well, anyway, tonight, with it being a brand new night here in San Antonio, well, most definitely going to be a pretty good one. Oh, Amarillo and Springfield about set to go. Wichita and Tulsa will definitely get ready to go, but be aware there at DCJ Field as there are thunderstorms definitely in the forecast for DCJ. And boy, so far Springfield, Missouri as well. Thunderstorms could definitely be in the works for y'all as well there at Blue River Stadium, home of the Springfield Cardinals. Well, anyway, everybody's set to go as we exchange the lineup cards, and so far the home plate umpires and managers are meeting up. And we'll have first, second, and third umpires meeting up with the crew as we exchange the cards here tonight. Well, anyway, partly cloudy skies, temperature at 97 degrees here in San Antonio. So far, the crowd's still piling in as we get ready for this third of 6 games against the visiting Riders here tonight. And so far tonight, the Missions dressed up in their Flying Chanclas uniform as... Oh, sorry about that. As we get ready to take on the Frisco RoughRiders, Chanclas coming in just about set to go in this ball game. I do apologize about that, and yeah, so far, the thing just all of a sudden just got loud, and well, that's all right. But we'll be back here on the first pitch for the top of the first for Frisco as the starter is warming up real quick, and all the players getting ready to take out to the field. But anyway, going to be a pretty good night here tonight, and we'll be right back. Our first pitch coming up at 7:05. It is now 7:01, so 4 minutes from now, we will have our ball game and ready to go here in San Antonio. Wichita and Tulsa live stream is not on as of yet. So if you are in DCJ Field and you're about ready to watch that ball game, and well, so far pretty good. Wichita Wind Surge taking on the Drillers there at DCJ, and so far good luck to those boys out there in the North Division. And so far Amarillo and Springfield about set to go. Well, we'll go ahead and give you some scores. Boy, Arkansas 4-0 against Northwest Arkansas, bottom of the second inning. Corpus Christi and Midland fixing to get ready to go here tonight. And well, I do believe we have a delayed start for the Drillers and Wind Surge. And so far, they might be picking up on the severe weather. As I said before, the severe weather is not out of the question for the Tulsa metropolitan area, but most definitely keeping the eyes and ears of what we have going on here in this one. Well, anyway, We'll definitely be getting started in just a few moments here. Got some clouds and sun, and yes, it is pretty good clouds, not no threatening weather. So pretty good night for baseball here for Chonkla's baseball. Just about set to get ready to go, and as we get ready to take down to the field, San Antonio fixing to get going, and pretty good on top of that. All right, there they go, out to the field as we get ready to get the Star-Spangled Banner set to go. And Eric Youst being the starter here tonight for San Antonio. So we'll definitely have a time as we take you downstairs for the national anthem in this one. All right, with that being said, the national anthem just continued. So far, beautiful, beautiful time to remember the national anthem, and so far, just a beautiful freedom that we have here each and every day. And so far, always important to stand for the national anthem and the Pledge of Allegiance and many more. And also thanking our military as well in this one. Well, that is why we have Military Appreciation Night Wednesdays. And so far, every Wednesday at home or on the go, we will have Military Appreciation Night here in the ball game or wherever San Antonio may be. Next week, we're up in Corpus Christi. The next following week being up in Arkansas. So make sure to tune in for those live streams when we get going with them. Well, anyway, just about set to go. Top of the first inning as San Antonio getting ready to go on the mound as Yost is going to be the starting pitcher for the Missions here tonight. And got to say, his pitch performance as he gets going, going to be really, really good. He's had a few good starts this year in San Antonio, but so far out on the road in the start of the season in Tulsa and Corpus Christi as well. But most evidently a pretty good one. Yost getting going as a four-seam curveball cutter, a changeup, and a sinker. Getting ready to go for the Flying Chanclas. Right fielder Orlando Martinez just about set to go. And the first pitch, 3 words, let's play ball. And that one is in for a cold strike, and we are underway with the game's first pitch at 7:09. Not too bad, not too tardy there. Right there, ground ball. Third baseman Verdugo throws it to Sanabria, and that is out number 1. And with that, let's give the starting lineups for the Frisco RoughRiders. Martinez, Hardy, Figueroa will be leading it off tonight. Guerrero, Drilling, Zavala, middle. Lee Sang, Brock, and Macias will round it out for Frisco. Shortstop Theo Hardy coming in. I want to tell you one thing pretty good about this prospect for the Texas Rangers. It was acquired during a third-round pick back in the year 2023. So far, pretty good. No balls, 1 strike. He's the pitch, and that is high fly out of play and foul. The count now 0-2. Frisco's win here last night. Pretty good in a final 6-0 against San Antonio. And tonight is if these two teams can break a 31 even time. That is right there, now to play. The countdown 0-2. Midland now in front of Corpus Christi. It's 2-0 Rockhounds. No balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch, and that one is out of play, foul. So still hanging on. No balls and 2 strikes. Wind up and the pitch, and that is going to be a swing and a miss. They got him, and that is out number 2. The strikeout going to Eric Yost. A pretty good one as we start off the evening. Here is Gilder Figueroa as he comes in. And that is in for a strike. The count now 0-1 to the third baseman for Frisco, Figueroa. So far, Wichita and Tulsa delayed in the start time. Just 12 minutes as rain and thunderstorms get going. Right there to Sanabria, and that ends the half inning. Well, no runs hit to Rivers and nobody on for the RoughRiders as we head now to the bottom of the first. No score through the top half of 1. So we'll be right back as a Frisco right-hander will get on the mound for the RoughRiders when we come back here in this one. West Creek Trail Ride's a proud sponsor of Missions Baseball. For more, check out their website at www.westcreektrailrides.com. Back now for the bottom of the first here in the San Antonio Missions Baseball Network. Right-hander Winston Santos getting on the mound for Frisco. Four-seam slider, changeup, and a two-seam fastball getting ready to go for the visiting RoughRiders. I'm going to say a pretty good one is getting set to go. Second base is Cameron Cawley. As usual, he'll be out there playing the second base position. Shortstop is Omar Cruz to lead it off. Now set to go here for the bottom of the first inning for San Antonio, and that is outside as 1 ball and no strikes. Brandon Malone doing pretty good out there in Midland. And so for our former San Antonio Mission, they got called up from San Antonio to Midland. And I'm trying to think of his name, but evidently he was the shortstop here for San Antonio a couple years back. 1 ball and 2 strikes, and that will go out of play foul. Here is the pitch, and that is a swing and a miss, and that is out number 1. And with that, let's give the Flying Chanclas starting lineups here. Cruz, Roberts, Salas will lead it off here tonight. Sanabria, Carpathios, Fabian, Verdugo, Murphy, and Castagnon will round it out. Boy, Francisco Acuña's name is, on the bench stuff, but evidently here watching baseball. Boy, doctor's orders says he's still got about a couple months to rest up after getting injured there in Tulsa. Start off the year, and I'll tell you one thing, not a good, easy sight to see when you literally just get injured and have to wait out until the doctor orders you that you can play again. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes to the center fielder, Ty Roberts. And that one is high and outside. The count now 2-2. Well, I got to tell you, John, I mean, for Francisco Acuña, he has to do what that doctor tells him, or else he could get in a lot of trouble. And so far be it from me, we don't want to see him get in trouble. He could re-injure himself, and he could be out for the rest of the season. That is for sure. Never thought about that, but thank you for that great wisdom of advice. Ethan Salas coming in now. 2 down for San Antonio.
Ball inside.
And that is going to miss outside. The count now 1 ball and no strikes. Bob, do you know the man I'm thinking about that got on to San Antonio and got diverted to Midland? I was thinking Leo Dallas DeVries. That's the guy right there. Thank you, Bob. So Leo Dallas DeVries got up from San Antonio to Midland. And man, you got a pretty good memory there, Bob. Yeah, well, thank you there, John. Even though doing pretty good with Brandon Malone and stuff there in Midland. They're both in Rockhound uniforms up in Double-A. And right there, just a swing and a miss, and that will do it for this half inning. No runs, hits, or errors, and nobody left on for San Antonio as we head for the second inning. No score, 3-1. So we head for the second inning as Pablo Guerrero will lead it off for Frisco. And it's no score, 3-1. About set to go for the top half of the second inning. Right now, the Missions Baseball Network. Pablo Guerrero about set to go. 4, 5, and 6, middle half of the Frisco order. Top of 2 with no score as we exited 1, now into the second here tonight for Taco Bell Value Night. That one is in for a cold strike. The count now 0-1. .288 for Guerrero as he comes in for the Frisco RoughRiders this year. He was handpicked in 2024 as a sixth-rounder. Gotta say for him, he's had pretty good one for the RoughRiders, and well, that one will get him for a swing and a miss, and that will be for out number 1. Well, that would be a strikeout for Eric Youst as he gets that first strikeout for San Antonio here the half inning. Dylan Drilling coming in now. Wind up and a pitch, and that one is in for a strike. The count now at 0-1 to the left fielder. Now, so far last night we displayed that secondary thing on the right-hand side of your screen there. New scoreboard. But most evidently just absolutely love this one. That one has got high in the air, and that is going to get gone. And Frisco, by Dylan Drilling, now hits that one. First home run of today. And Frisco now up 1-0. Drilling, a pretty good Texas Rangers prospect. Doing pretty good here in Double-A ball. And hopefully going to get up to Triple-A Round Rock before too long. That would be pretty good there, John. If he got up to Triple-A Round Rock, that'd be pretty nice there in the Coastal League. Aaron Zavala coming in now as that will be fouled off. The count now 0-1. So, Bob, what is your opinion? Do you like this scoreboard better, or do you like the other one? I think I like this one better. Yeah, me too. Here's the 0-1. That one right there. Up to first, Sanabria takes it himself, out number 2. But unknowingly, when we get to Corpus Christi, there will be that third scoreboard that we haven't showed y'all yet, but most evidently we'll probably be using that, or we'll just use this one. Why not? But we'll see how everything goes. That's right there in the end for Marcus Lee Sang coming in, the 7-hole batter, making his first appearance here in San Antonio as a Frisco RoughRider. And that's going to be right there up to the right field as Carpathios will take it himself for out number 3. 1 run on 1 hit. Solo shot by Drilling as that will be a 1-0 lead for Frisco as we go to 2.5. RoughRiders up by 1-0. Romeo Sanabria, next batter up for San Antonio, gets going when we come back from our commercial messages.
About set to go for the bottom of the second. Right now, the Missions Baseball Network. Romeo Sanabria, 4, 5, and 6, due up against the Frisco starter. Winston Santos comes in. Middle half of the San Antonio order. 1 ball and no strikes. Tying run is Sanabria at the plate. And he'll take a swing and a miss. The count now 1-1. RoughRiders up by 1-0 in the early going. And that one is outside. The count now 2-1. Two balls, 1 strike, and that is going to be in for a called strike. And the count now 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Boy, clouds look like they'll dissipate, but evidently in the morning for a Friday, can't rule out possibility of afternoon thunderstorms tomorrow.
No, that's a ball.
That one right there, the count now 3-2, and they're going to contest that. And called third strike. They got him. I don't think that makes a batter happy that he got third strikeout, but even though they called that a ball, but most evidently, I guess it is what it is. Here is Braden Carpathios as he swings and misses at the initial offering for a strike, and the count now 0-1.
That's the ball.
Change up outside is 1-1. Boy, so far, clouds, a lot of them here tonight.
No, that's high.
You know, the sun is getting blocked out by a lot of those clouds. They're sunset-looking clouds. And right there, the count now 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, the count now to Carpathios. And that one is outside. Changeup will be outside. On deck is Albert Fabian. And that's a swing and a miss, and that will go down for out number 2. 5th strikeout for the starter, Winston Santos. And here is Albert Fabian, the 6-hole batter, coming in. A designated hitter gets going. So far, pretty good on top of that. And that is in for strike 2. The count now, no balls and 2 strikes to count. And the pitch. And right there, that one is out of here. Right into the trees. And we are tied. Man, that was a pretty good line drive up the right center field for a home run is Albert Fabian. Well, that home plate umpire cam really comes in handy there, Bob. And so far as we look at it, that was right into the trees, or just shy of that tree out there. You can barely see it. Up into right center. But here's Rosemond Verdugo as he comes in. Third baseman here tonight for San Antonio. 1-1 tie, bottom of the second inning. 2 outs, nobody on after the home run. Boy, pretty good here in this one. Batting a .253 is Rosemond Verdugo. Boy, and you can hear those motorcycles just being a little bit loud with the V8 engine. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The pitch outside for the ball. The count now 2-2. Springfield leading Amarillo 1-0 top of the second inning. So far, that is pretty much it for that. And right there, swing and a miss, and that will do it.
And that will be the side retired by Albert Fabian getting a solo shot. And we're squared away at 1-1. Boy, tell you one thing, pretty good one as we go in now to the third. Julian Brock will be the next man up for Frisco coming up. Well, just about set to go for the third inning right now on the Missions Baseball Network. 8-hole batter, Julian Brock getting ready to go. Top of the third for Frisco. And that is the end for a strike. The count now 0-1. Amarillo and Springfield tied 1-1 just like Frisco and San Antonio is.
That's a ball.
And that one is outside. The count now 1-1. Midland still leading Corpus Christi 2-0. And boy, tell you one thing, just getting pretty interesting as we go into this one. That one is high fly in the air straight away. And that is out number 1.
Batting ninth, second baseman, number 11.
Boy, that second baseman, Marcos Castañon, does really good. Pretty good prospect for the Padres Farm Club here in San Antonio. Cameron Coley coming up now, and that's going to get through for a line drive base hit. Straightaway center on that one. Well, I'll tell you one thing, John. That one snuck through really good. En contraire there, mon ami. It sure did. Orlando Martinez coming in. 1 on, 1 out, 1-1 tie, top of the third here in this one. That one is yanked foul, and the count now 0-1. 0-for-1 ground out by Martinez here tonight. Here's the pitch, and right there, swing and a miss. The count now 0-2. Arkansas still leading Northwest Arkansas 4-0. Bottom half of the fourth inning there at All-American Ballpark in North Little Rock, Arkansas. That one is right there, and that will be out number 2.
Now batting.
Well, so far, so good.
Number 3.
Shortstop Theo Hardy coming in now, 0 for 1 strikeout. And that is in for a strike. The count now at 0-1. No balls and 1 strike the count. Looking in is Eric Yost. And he takes that one in. Count now 0-2. One more for this half inning to come to a conclusion. And that one is skied high in the air, straightaway center. Under it is Roberts as he'll make the play for out number 3. No runs, 1 hit. No errors, 1 left for Frisco as we head now to the bottom half of the third inning, and it's 1-1 tie. So we'll be ready to go as Kai Murphy gets ready to get going for San Antonio when we come back. Well, just about set to go for the bottom of the third. Right now, the Missions Baseball Network. Ty Murphy coming in, 8-9-1 due up for San Antonio. We'll get something going in this one. Counting down 0-1. It's first pitch thrown in for a called strike. And the counting down 0-1. That one ground ball straight away first in time. And that is out number 1.
Second baseman, number 94.
Second baseman is Marcos Castañon. Castañon getting ready to go here in this half inning. And that is going to be right there and in for a called strike. And here's the count now at 0-1. One man down, nobody on. Still a tight ball game, and he'll come up empty-handed as he swings and misses. And the count now at 0-2. And the slider is outside, 1-2. Well, that one is going to be upheld. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count. Boy, I remember when Leo Dallas DeVries used to be here. A couple years ago, he really hit one out of this ballpark against Wichita that one day. Do you remember? Oh, yeah, I remember that. Boy, it was a walk-off on a Sunday. Yeah, it sure was. I think it would go down as Texas League history as Leo Dallas DeVries being one of the greatest San Antonio missions there ever was, and especially here in AA San Antonio. We do miss him a lot, but wish him the best of luck in Midland. And that's right there. The count now 0-2 to the leadoff batter, Omar Cruz. Wind up and the pitch, and that's going to be a swing and a miss, and that will be out number 3. And that will be the side retired. So still 1-1 tie as we head to the 4th inning here in San Antonio. Gilder Figueroa leads it off when we come back here in this one. Well, just about set to go for the top of the 4th right now on the Missions Baseball Network. Gilder Figueroa coming in 0 for 1 of the night, leading it off. 3-4-5 due up for Frisco. And the pitch is high fly in the air, deep to right field. And up is Carpathios. I was going to say Castañon, but he is out there at second base. Carpathios being the right fielder. And now here is Pablo Guerrero. One man down, 0 for 1 strikeout. Frisco first baseman is Guerrero.
No, that's a ball.
And that one is high and outside for a ball. The count now 1-0. Fourth inning in a 1-1 tie here in this one. And that one is going to be skied high in the air, straightaway right. Carpathios getting out number 2. 2 up, 2 down here in this one. Dylan drilling a solo shot in the second inning, 1 for 1. On this record, a solo home run for him. Just getting pretty phenomenal. He's had a lot last week against Springfield, which he hit a 3-run shot and really getting things onward against the Cardinals. Right there, a swing and a miss. He comes up empty-handed. And the count now 0-2. 34 pitches for the starter, Yost. Pretty good one indeed. Right, Bob? Gotta say, John, he gets pretty good. That's a swing and a miss, and that will end the half inning, so that will be it. 4.5, still a tight ball game as San Antonio gets ready to come up to bat. Center fielder Kai Roberts coming in now, 0 for 1 strikeout. Proud sponsor of tonight's ball game, West Creek Trail Rides, the best horseback riding place there ever is. And that's going to be in for a strike. The count now 0-1. So if you visit San Antonio, then yes, you can find us there at West Creek. We are a good horseback organization. We're welcoming you with open arms, and yes, we treat all visitors like their family to our organization. So far, West Creek Trail Rides has been a proud sponsor of San Antonio Missions baseball since 2024. First organized, but a pretty good horseback riding place, and it's got a lot of my good friends in there too. So right there, that is a swing and a miss, and that will be out number 1. That will be the 9th strikeout for Winston Santos. The catcher is Ethan Salas as he comes in. Now at 51 is the starter, Santos. Four-seam fastball is swung on and missed, and that will be the count now 0-1. That one is high and outside. The count now 1-1. Springfield leading Amarillo 2-1. So far, that is pretty much all the scores. Everybody else still stays the same. But most evidently, just pretty good on top of that. That one right there will be ball 3, so the count now 3-1, and on deck is Romeo Sanabria. Here's the pitch, and that is in for a strike. The count now 3-2. 3 balls, 2 strikes. 0 for 1 is Salas. And they're going to call that and see where that is. And he doesn't have an argument there. That is called third strike. And so far, that will be it for out number 2. Romeo Sanabria, the next man up for San Antonio, getting ready to go. Batting a 154 for Sanabria. Pretty good for San Antonio here in this one. That one's going to be right there. Line drive up the right field. That is through for the base hit. And that's going to be up for a double. And double beat cheeseburger coupons courtesy of Whataburger. So them fans get to take that little coupon home, and boy, they get to use it for dinner. Or, when we get off here tonight, take it to Whataburger. No purchase necessary. So far, the whole stadium will definitely get into that coupon. Always a pretty good thing when you get a coupon like that, and so far just a pretty good one. But Whataburger served hot and fresh. First one built in Corpus Christi in 1970. And so far the company's been around for already 76 years. That's going to be right there, line drive, and that is through for a hit. Here comes the runner in across the score for San Antonio as Braden Carpathios gets the run on the RBI single, and San Antonio now leads it 2-1. Wow, pretty good line drive for a base hit right there, John. But most evidently, the mission's doing pretty good. Designated hitter is Albert Fabian, 1-for-1, a solo shot in the second inning by the solo home run, which indefinitely there, John, he does really good with solo shots. What do you think about that? Well, I think about that as a big success for this defense here tonight. And gotta say, Bob, this defense really needs some pretty good, liable hitters. That one right there, the count now 1-2 is... That one is downstairs. And so far, just a pretty nice night here in San Antonio as we have a pretty good ball game brewing up. And hopefully San Antonio gets this one here tonight to claim their 32nd of the season. Here's a 1-2, and that's going to be a called third strike, and they got him. But Braden Carpathios picks up the RBI single, and it pushes across the run. And we head for the fifth inning. San Antonio in front. It's 2-1. Well, we'll be right back as Aaron Zavala will lead it off when we come back here into this one. About set to go for the top half of the fifth inning right now on the Missions Baseball Network. Aaron Zavala coming in now, fifth inning of work for Eric Youst. 6, 7, 8 due up for Frisco. As that one's going to be right there, line drive, and that's going to be through for a base hit. And now that would be a leadoff batter getting on base on a single with no outs. Well, pretty good hitting for this Rough Rider, number 10, Aaron Zavala, which he does pretty good. Here is Marcus Lee Sang as he comes in. Playing in center field tonight for Frisco is 0 for 1, a lineout. 1 ball and no strikes. That one is going to be out of play, foul. And the count now at 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be right there. That will go foul as Sanabria tries to get that one. Home plate umpire Jeff Andrews says it's foul. And right there, swing and a miss, got him. That's a 4 strikeout for Eric Youst as he comes in and gets something going. The catcher, Julian Brock, coming in now, 0 for 1 pop out. 5th inning here tonight in a 1-run ball game. San Antonio in front of this, a lead. And that one is going to be out of play, foul. The count now 0-1. Well, it is still delayed for Tulsa and Wichita.
That's a ball.
And that's going to be a balk right there. The first runner on base goes to second. Now the count now 0-1 after the balk. Julian Brock coming in as that is in for a strike. The count now 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes. Runner at second, 1 out. Rough Riders trailing this game just by 1. High in the air, out of play. Still different scores as I'm looking at the Texas League ball clubs. And that's going to be right there, high in the air, straight away. Barcacios makes the play, and that is out number 2.
Now back, second baseman, number 11.
Well, the second baseman is Cameron Cawley. 1 for 1 single here tonight. Looking pretty good here tonight as he comes in. I'll tell you one thing, San Antonio trying to get in and win this one here. And that one's going to be high in the air, straight away. And they can't catch up to it. And then the run is in to score. RBI double for Cameron Cawley. Make it a 2-2 ball game as now we are tied once again here in the half inning.
Well, I gotta say, San Antonio was doing well until that base hit.
Well, they do really good, and that's going to be right there up to the left field area. And they can't get them, and the run is across the score. Martinez gets the RBI single, pushes across the tie-breaking run. Now Frisco leading San Antonio 3-2.
Boy, Frisco trying to get this ball game in their grasp. It looks like they're trying really hard. So far, pretty good.
Well, that is for sure. That's going to be right there up to the right fielder, and that will do. But 2 runs in to score on a couple of hits, no errors, and 1 left. We head now to the bottom of the 5th. Frisco up 3-2.
Now pitching.
Well, we'll have a new arm coming in for the Rough Riders as we get ready to go for the bottom of the 5th when we come back. Well, about set to go for the bottom of the fifth right now. Missions Baseball Network. Right-hander Carter Bloomler getting ready to go for Frisco. Bloomler now pitching for the RoughRiders. Third baseman Rosemond Verdugo coming in. Bottom half of the order, 7, 8, 9. Getting ready to go as that one is the first pitch in, called for a strike. It's 0-1. And that's a swing and a miss. The count now 0-2. RoughRiders up in this ball game, 3-2 after a 2-run inning.
That's a ball.
And that's a ball outside. The count now at 1-2. Chanclas trail a run here in this one. And that's going to be right there up the right field. That is through for a hit. Had to bring in the left fielder, Kai Murphy, as he comes in. Don't forget that tomorrow a stray shower or thunderstorm possible for San Antonio in the afternoon. Temperature up 91 degrees. And so far, getting my weather information from the Weather Channel. 1 ball and no strikes to left fielder Kai Murphy. 0 for 1 ground out. So far as we look at Friday evening, partly cloudy skies becoming overcast later during the night. And then looking at partly cloudy and considerable cloudiness. Mist and reduced visibilities at times early. But so far, yes, we do tend to see cloud cover just intensify through these nights. Don't forget on Sunday, boy, we have thunderstorms likely. Cooler and less humid, high 90. Humidity is a great factor of when it rains, that steam comes off the pavement. And you see air rise into the atmosphere, and it can create even more thunderstorms. Yeah, it can make a big mess out of things, and so forth. It can even take the water out of you. Yeah, and it'll make you more and more thirsty that you need to hydrate. But as I say before, don't overhydrate, because more than likely you'll overhydrate. You make yourself sick doing that. Make sure you cool down slowly if you work outdoors during those days. That one is right there, and now to play. The count now 1-2. You don't want to cool down too fast, because if you cool down too fast, your body can't catch up to temperature change. Well, that's exactly true. Well, here is Omar Cruz, 0 for 2 and 2 strikeouts here tonight. As he comes in and gets ready to go here for San Antonio. Just a good pitch-perfect shot right behind home plate. That's a good thing. Cruz being a reserve pitcher. So far not reserving tonight, but also batting in the shortstop area. And that one is right there. The count now 0-2. Bottom of the fifth inning, RoughRiders leading 3-2. San Antonio trailing just that 1 run. Tying run up to the plate for the Missions, and boy, that should have been a home run right there. But I tell you one thing, that will get fouled to the right field area. Right there, called third strike, and that will be out number 3. Side retired. No runs, 1 hit, no waivers, and 1 left. 6th inning coming up. It is Frisco 3, Missions 2. Halfway through the ball game tonight as we give you the line look of the first 5 innings here. Boy, and so far, home runs coming short. Short and sweet, just a few. Most evidently not like Amarillo at Springfield. Boy, yesterday, 14-4.
against the Springfield Cardinals. That was a terrific ball game as Amarillo took that one by storm. Well, top of the 6th inning, set to go. 3-2 our score as we get going here in this half inning. And so far, great crowd we have on a Thursday evening, Taco Bell Value Night. Gilder Figueroa coming in, 3-4-5, due up for this half inning. Wind up and the pitch, and that is in for the taken strike, and the count now 0-1. Don't forget $2 everything tomorrow evening. Flying Chocolates return for one more time this homestand. No balls and 1 strike. Here's the pitch.
Nope,
that one is a
away.
changeup outside. It's 1-1. Well, I got to say, pretty sad as we're gone for 2 weeks after this homestand. Missions will be back on Tuesday, June 30th through the 5th of July. And so far, looking at it as we take on the Amarillo Sod Poodles, and 7th through the 12th there in Midland to close out the first half of the regular season. Here's a 2-1. And that one is going to be high fly in the air, straight away. And Carpathios runs it down, incomplete cue. And that is out number 1.
Number 27.
Pablo Guerrero 0 for 2, a strikeout and a flyout. So far as we look at the 13th through the 16th, those are also the off days of all Texas League ball clubs. Don't forget, we'll have 3 games left with Corpus Christi starting the 17th through the 19th, and then the 21st through the 26th, taking on the visiting Frisco RoughRiders. RoughRiders will have at least 10 more games here in San Antonio for the year.
That's the ball.
That's 1-1 the count now. Eric Youst being the starting pitcher of this ball game, and I gotta say, this guy pitching one heck of a game now at 52 pitches. There's lucky number 53 on the way, and that one is gonna be high fly in the air straight away. Carpathios runs it down to center field,
Now batting.
and that is out number 2. Well, as you look at now Amarillo being Tuesday, July 28th through August 2nd, that will also be the last Sunday game in Amarillo. So far, pretty good. Tuesday, August 4th through the 9th, we take on the visiting Springfield Cardinals here at home. And then going on the 11th through the 16th, taking on Frisco, the last 6 games in Statesman's Park for the year. Right there, ground ball straight away, and he throws it to the wrong direction. And that's going to be an infield hit. Could have possibly been an error on top of that. And here is Aaron Zavala. Zavala coming in, ready to go as he swings and misses the initial offering. The count now 0-1. 1 for 2 single. Forget that Frisco will be the 11th through the 16th. We're back the 18th through the 23rd, taking on Northwest Arkansas. And then we head to Springfield the 25th through the 30th.
Oh.
And then the 1st through the 6th, taking on Midland. And then the 8th through the 13th in Amarillo to close out the regular season finale. 1-1. Right there, ground ball straight away. Up to second. They force him out, and they get out of the half inning unscathed. Well, with that, 2, 3, and 4 hitters due up. Robert Salas and Sanabria
We'll get ready for the bottom half of the sixth inning for San Antonio when we come back. So anyways, 3-2 our score as the RoughRiders continue to hold this one-run lead in this one. We'll be right back. Bounce at the goal for the bottom of the sixth, right now on the Missions Baseball Network. Guy Roberts coming in is 0 for 2 as we welcome you back to the broadcast, as that is in for a count now, 0-1 for pitch in for the strike. Acker and Thompson, two right-handers, warming up for the RoughRiders bullpen. So got to say, a pretty good one as that. And that is in for a strike. The count now 0-2. I'll tell you one thing, just a pretty good night for baseball. That one is a high pop-up straight away into short. And there is one down.
Well, that'll bring in the catcher, Ethan Salas, 0 for 2 and 2 strikeouts. 3-2 ball game here in the bottom of the 6th inning. San Antonio trying to get up in there and get something going. They still have a trailing run of 1. 1 ball and no strikes to count. The windup and the pitch. That one is ricocheted right off the ground, and it will drift back. 1 ball, 1 strike. That one is outside. The count now 2-1. Well, so far now, Wichita and Tulsa getting going after a rain delay. Leading off the bottom of the 1st inning there in Tulsa. Boy, just a lot darker as it is compared to here. So far, Wichita doing pretty good. But anyway, here comes the manager. And it looks like for the 2nd time around, he's popped out of that dugout. Still raining there at the baseball park there in Tulsa. And so far, yeah, fans are still getting in. Here's Austin Bergner now as he'll get ready to go for the RoughRiders. 4-seam changeup, curveball, a slider, and a 2-seam fastball getting going for the Frisco RoughRiders. Wichita now up 1-0 against Tulsa. Boy, coming down rain as they play baseball. Thunderstorm activity not out of the question for DCJ Field tonight. But as we all look at it, the thunderstorm activity will return to San Antonio by Sunday. Can't rule out possibilities tomorrow through the weekend. But definitely keeping our eyes and ears on the Weather Channel. That one is right there. Liner straight away up to right field, and that is through for a hit. And so far, pretty good on top of that one. So far, a lot of tornadic weather outside of Chicago. Boy, I bet the Chicago Cubs had to cancel their ball game due to the threatening weather. Always a good thing to cancel a ball game if you know that there's a threatening weather coming in. But most evidently, just got to keep your eyes and ears on the weather. But it looks like Chicago was up in the Rockies today. And that one is outside for a ball. The count now 3-0. On deck is Albert Fabian. Boy, pretty good ball game. 9-3 is Chicago won it. They defeat the Rockies really good in that one. San Diego Padres playing tomorrow night. So far, they don't play tonight, which tonight's their off night. Designated hitter is Albert Fabian. 1 for 2, a home run, RBI, and a run. And that is the end for a cold strike. Is the count now 0-1. 1st and 2nd, 2 down in the bottom half of the 6th inning. Texas Rangers defeat Kansas City Royals 4-2 the final. That'll put Rangers at 34 even. 28-41 is the Kansas City Royals. Northwest Arkansas affiliate.
Nope, that's off the plate.
And that one's going to be right there. The count now 1-2. And right there, a swing and a miss, and that will do it. And for the half inning comes to an end. So no runs on 2 hits, no errors, 2 left on. 7th inning coming up for Frisco as Marcus Lee Sang comes in. And we'll be right back here in this one.
Well, about set to go for the top half of the seventh inning right now, the Missions Baseball Network. Well, I got to say, Bob, thank you for that. But before we get the seventh inning off to the start, we'll go ahead and give y'all some Major League Baseball scores. Miami Marlins defeat the Diamondbacks 2-0. New York Mets defeat St. Louis by 5-4. Boy, blowout between the Tigers and the Minnesota Twins, 11-0. Boy, that was a blowout game right there. Texas Rangers take the win 4-2, as I said earlier. Chicago Cubs 9-3. Los Angeles Dodgers defeat the Pittsburgh Pirates by a final 7-4. Orioles defeat the Seattle Mariners 7-5. And so far, that is all of Major League Baseball scores. Well, about set to go for the top of the seventh inning here of the Missions Baseball Network. As the center fielder, Marcus Lee Sang, coming in, is 0 for 2. Eric Yost now pitching continuously for San Antonio here in this one. Boy, second inning set to go for Wichita as they lead Tulsa by 1-0. Rainy conditions continue for DCJ, and just happy that we're not there taking on the Drillers. But no more do we take that team on this year, as San Antonio took them on 9 times this year. Well, 2 teams in the North Division, Springfield and Northwest Arkansas, getting to come to San Antonio. Missions will head to Arkansas and Springfield. So pretty much those will be the last 2 road games against 2 North Divisions. And that one is going to be high in the air, straight away, up to center fielder Roberts as he'll make the play for out number 2. Cameron Coley, the second baseman, coming in, 2 for 2, double, single, RBI, and a run. Boy, a lot of light left as this game is going. And that will be outside. And the count now 1-0. 2 outs, nobody on. 7th inning for Frisco. 3-2 lead for the Roughriders. Here's a 1-0, and that is going to be in for a taken cold strike. And it's the count now at 1-1. Boy, tell you one thing, I remember that one time when Tulsa had the threatening skies, or was it in Wichita? I do believe it was there in Wichita that one evening. Storm clouds coming in, and I think bottom of the 5th or 6th innings, but most evidently severe weather. You know, and again, we had that game against Corpus Christi that one evening. 8 innings, you know, because we had some storms come in. That one high in the air straight away, and that one, say goodbye to it because it is gone. Cameron Coley getting one, and he rounds the bases. And that is pretty good for Frisco as they come in and get another one on the scoreboard. And now it is a 4-2 lead for the Roughriders. Pretty good as Orlando Martinez comes in. Let's go ahead and give you some Texas League scores now. Frisco leading San Antonio 4-2, top of the 7th inning in the broadcast. Amarillo leading 4-2 against Springfield, top of the 5th. Midland leading Corpus Christi 3-2, top of the 6th. And Wichita leading Tulsa, top of the 2nd, as they went through a rain delay and still playing in the rain. Could be a thunderstorm out there, a flash of lightning here and there. But most evidently it is dark skies there at Tulsa. But anyway, pretty good. Here's the 1-1 offering, and that one is fouled off. The count now 1-2. And so far, we definitely keep the eyes and ears on the metropolitan area tonight. Especially my friend that lives in Oklahoma in the city of Muskogee. Don't you ever think you could go up to Oklahoma one of these days and take a road trip? Almost definitely. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch from Yost, and that's going to be high in the air. Kai Murphy gets after it, makes the play to end the half inning. Cameron Coley getting one. As we go to the 7th inning stretch now, it's take me out to the ball game here in this one. So we'll be right back as we lead off the 7th for the third baseman, Rosemond Verdugo, coming in for the Missions. We come back. Well, hope you've had a pretty good seventh inning stretch. Now, time to get to the ball game here in San Antonio. John Baker, take it away.
Thank you, Bob. And we're set to go. Rosemont Verdugo getting ready to hit for San Antonio. User coming in. Hello there. How you doing? Welcome into this one. And that one is a changeup, a swing and a miss. The count now 0-2. And curveball outside the zone, 1-2. Boy, seventh inning stretches are always good here at the ball game. And that is one down. Boy, Wichita now leading 3-0 against Tulsa. Now here is Kai Murphy as he comes in. One man down here in the bottom of the seventh inning for San Antonio. Don't forget, tomorrow night, Dr. Pepper night, everything $2, including food and drink items. One ball and no strikes to count now. Nobody on for San Antonio. Here's the windup and the pitch, and that one is going to be out of play, foul, and the count now 1-1. So far, night games going through Sunday. And that is right there, the count now 1-2. Spend your weekend with us as you probably get home from work. Or you're already retired, you don't have to worry about things anymore. But come on out to the ball game, enjoy the game, and have fun. Well, that one hit to the second baseman, Cauley, and boy, gotta say, pretty good cat-like reflexes there. And that is going to be right there in the count now, 0-1. 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts here tonight by Castañon, the second baseman, coming in for San Antonio. There is the 0-1, and that one's going to be high in the air, straight away right field. And it moves over to get it, to make the play for out number 3. Eighth inning coming up, Frisco leading it 4-2. Due up is Hardy, Figueroa, and Guerrero will lead it off in the eighth inning. We come back here in the broadcast.
Well, about set to go for the 8th inning for the Frisco RoughRiders right now on the San Antonio Missions Baseball Network. Well, Theo Hardy about set to go. And before we get going, the manager is going to pop out of the dugout to pull the starting pitcher here in this one.
Now pitching.
Right-hander Andrew Dahlquist will come in as he'll get something going on the mound for San Antonio. 4-seam, a 2-seam, curveball, slider, changeup. Dahlquist now pitching for San Antonio. Theo Hardy coming in is 0 for 3. First reliever will throw in the first pitch called for a strike. The count now at 0-1. Amarillo leading Springfield 6-2. Bottom of the 5th inning. They're at Blue River Stadium, which that is a pretty good place to be. The count now 0-2. And so far pretty good. No balls, 2 strikes to count, and here is the 0-2 pitch. Right there, called third strike. And it got him looking.
Number 5.
Third baseman Gilder Figueroa coming in now for Frisco. As he leads it off as 0 for 3 of the 9th. Lined out in the first is 0 for 3. That right there pretty good as we all look at it. But most evidently having some little bit of a issue, but most definitely trying to see where that is. Hopefully we're not having any problems getting on there. And that is going to be in for a strike, and the count now at 1-2. Probably just the internet a little bit, but I guess it could be. Here's a pitch, and that's going to be high fly in the air straight away. And that's going to get through for a base hit up the right field as Carpathios chasing it down. And Figueroa getting up there. And he glides into second safely.
Number 27.
Boy, a 1-out double continues the half inning for Frisco. And here is Pablo Guerrero as he comes in. And so far, always got to see what's going on. And I do believe we're starting to have maybe a little interference on the computer and stuff. I think it's the Wi-Fi connection. But we're definitely still live here, transmitting from San Antonio and stuff. First baseman Pablo Guerrero is 0 for 3. But don't worry if you are having trouble. Or maybe you're not having trouble. I don't think you are, but most evidently, I guess sometimes that's just the internet for you. No balls and 2 strikes to count now to Guerrero, as he's going to hit that one out of play foul, and the count now still holding 0-2. Well, sometimes you got to be a little tech wizard at some points, but most evidently you just got to figure it out at most times. No balls, 2 strikes, the pitch. Right there, called third strike. And he does not want to say he wants to go down, but it still holds up for a called third strike anyways. Well, I got to say, I mean, nothing you could say to make that home plate umpire happy, but literally just trying not to get out of line by getting ejected after that. Dylan Drilling coming in is 2 for 3. Frisco holding a 4-2 lead against San Antonio. Top of the 8th, 2 outs, runner at second. I'll tell you one thing pretty good. Well, Bob, if you can, just take a look at that. That one's high fly in the air straight away, and the right fielder, Carpathios, going to run out of room, and that will be a 2
Two-run shot by Dylan Drilling. And he's got his second one of the day. And boy, tell you one thing, that is pretty remarkable as we all look at it. Drilling a 383-foot fastball, exit velocity at 91 even. Boy, 3-2 Wichita there in Tulsa. They're most evidently pretty good. But I hope everything's getting pretty good with the computer and stuff. Had a little technical difficulties, but that would be all right. Dylan Drilling a two-run shot, his second home run of the night here in San Antonio. Another Frisco RoughRiders leading at 6-2. San Antonio trailing by 4. Dalton Pence, a left-hander, getting on for Frisco. For seam, curve, ball, cutter, splitter, and sinker. Getting ready to go for the RoughRiders as we get ready to come back. Omar Cruz the first to greet them as we have the bottom half of the 8th inning set to go next. Bottom half of the 8th inning set to go for San Antonio right now on the Missions Baseball Network. Omar Cruz bell set to go. 6 outs left for San Antonio here tonight. So Omar Cruz being the first up to bat for the Flying Chanclas. He's getting ready to go. Boy, Arkansas, I tell you one thing about the Travelers. They lead 6-1 against Northwest Arkansas. A pretty good deficit. Bottom of the 8th inning. They're at All-American Ballpark in North Little Rock, Arkansas. And right there, the cutter is a swing and a miss. The count now 1-2. So far, the sun already gone down. A little bit daylight left. Pretty good as we get going. That one is a swing and a miss. Cruz going down on strikes. And that is out number 1. Boy, it's top of the 3rd inning there in Tulsa. Wichita having a good lead, 3-2. But so far tomorrow we'll look out for thunderstorm activity on the high rise. And that one is going to be popped out and foul, and the count now at 0-1.
Dalton Pence coming in. Here is the pitch. Swing and a miss, and the count now 0-2. I really think the rain has stopped there at DCJ Field. Gotta say, I think most of the threatening weather is moving off to the east away from Tulsa, but it's developed. But most evidently, the Wichita wind surge taking on the Tulsa Drillers, having that rain delay. And now into the third inning for the visiting wind surge. No balls and one strike to count, and by Ethan Salas, who is 0 for 3 of the night. Here is the pitch, and that is outside as the count now 1-1. You look at Sunday, 70% chance of thunderstorms. Of rain now as we conclude, or try to conclude, the first game or last game of this homestand against the RoughRiders. But man, I tell you one thing, it's pretty good to get something going. But anyway, the final game of this homestand is Sunday, and I don't imagine that there'd be rainouts on that day. 3-2, here's the delivery. That one is out of play, foul. And the count now still holding on 3-2. Wind up in the pitch, and that is right there, called third strike, and they got him. And that is going to do. So one more inning here tonight as we head to the ninth inning. Frisco up in front, 6-2. Center fielder Marcus Lee Sang coming up now for the RoughRiders. Will lead it for the ninth. We come back. Ninth inning set to go for Frisco right now, the Missions Baseball Network. Well, Marcus Lee Sang, the first batter up, 7-8-9, bottom half of the order, set to go for the RoughRiders. 0 for 3 is Lee Sang as he comes in and takes that one outside in for a strike. And the count now, or should I say 1 ball and no strikes. I do apologize about that. Getting a little overly confused with something else. And anyway, right there, that is a line drive through for the base hit, center field. And that's going to be a no-out single.
Catcher, number 4.
Now that's going to bring in Julian Brock. The 8-hole batter coming in. Taco Bell double play in this one. So far, we have not had not one double play this evening, but hopefully San Antonio gets lucky tonight. Ground ball will get you 2 free tacos courtesy of any Missions double play. That's going to be right there up to the right field area. And boy, they are just still looking for it out there. Now the run is in to score. And now Frisco leads at 7-2. They lead here in this one by 5. That'll be a 1-run triple. But so far, pretty good on top of that, getting forward. Here is Cameron Coley. Boy, this guy really hit a home run in the last half inning. 3 for 3, 2 RBIs and a run by the home run, who's the 3 for 3 to the second baseman. Here's the 0-1, and that one is outside. The count now 1-1. 7-2 RoughRiders here in this ball game. 9th inning here tonight. That one's going to be high fly in the air straight away. Carpathios runs it down, and here comes the runner, is across the score, and that's going to go out of play, and then another run is in to score on top of that. So the ball gets away, and now it's a 6-run lead for the Frisco RoughRiders. Here's Orlando Martinez as he comes in. Seems like Frisco ready to take first place against San Antonio and stuff. Yeah, I gotta say there, John, they can really do it here tonight. And that's gonna be right there, and that's gonna get through for a hit. That goes around, and he's there at third safely. And that is a 1-out triple for Martinez as he gets in. Well, the manager is going to come out, and I guess that will do for Andrew Dahlquist as he's seen enough of his reliever. Now knowing that a new reliever has to come in, and boy, just 1 out here in the top of the 9th inning to say it all, but most evidently, these guys need to know that a loss here tonight would put Frisco up to first place. Evan Fitterer coming in now for San Antonio, 4-seam curveball, changeup, and a slider. Fitterer now pitching for San Antonio. Theo Hardy coming in, and boy, he hits that one right there to center. Another run in to score. Now it's a 9-2 lead for Frisco. Boy, the RoughRiders doing good here tonight. They're not done yet. Still 1 out left here in the half inning. Here's Gilder Figueroa as he comes in. And that's going to be right there. Liner straight away, and that's another base hit.
Now batting, first baseman, number 20.
Pablo Guerrero coming in now. Wind up and the pitch, and that's a swing and a miss. The count now 0-1. 0 for 4 2 strikeouts, 2 flyouts here tonight for the RoughRiders. Amarillo leading 11-2 against Springfield. Boy, they are double digits again this week. Here's the 0-1. And that is right there inside for the count now, 0-2. Arkansas just called their ball game. Their final score, Arkansas 6, Northwest Arkansas 2. Arkansas Travelers take that game, and that's going to be right there, line drive. And that's going to be a base hit all the way to the wall. 1 run scores, 2 runs score. Now that'll be a 2-run triple for Pablo Guerrero. Man, I tell you one thing, I don't think, man, this RoughRiders defense, and here's Dylan Drilling. While you look at this guy, he can really hit a home run. You just have to watch out for him. And so far, pretty good on top of that. I think confidence level is down for Evan Fitterer. The manager's now going to come out, and that is going to do for Fitterer. He is not concentrating on all cylinders, if you know what I mean. Yeah, I get your meaning there, John. When you give up so many home runs in a half inning, that's just really asking for trouble. Now your manager's disappointed in you, but you let him down. And now they're going to have to turn over to another man like Sean Boyle as he comes in. Yep. And so far, he's got to clean up the mess of the previous reliever. Well, four-seam, a slider, and many more others to go in this one. Dylan Drilling coming in now. Now Frisco leading 11-2 here in this ball game. 12th run at 90 feet away. Still 1 out in the half inning. That's going to be a ground ball straight away, and Sanabria will get it. Boy, 5 runs here in this half inning. But 11-2 Frisco. Here's a designated hitter, Aaron Zavala. Zavala coming in, ready to go. Here's the pitch to him, and that is in for a strike. The count now 0-1. Boy, it's 11-2 in Springfield. Amarillo 11-2. Midland leading Corpus Christi 5-3. Right there in front, Sanabria takes it himself, and finally the half inning comes to an end. Boy, I gotta say, 5 runs on 11 hits, no errors. And they leave 1 on. We head for the bottom of the 9th inning. Frisco up 11-2 against San Antonio. 9-run lead. Romeo Sanabria, the first middle half of the order prospects, comes in. And here's the pitch inside for a strike. The count now 0-1. Amarillo 11-2 against Springfield. Top of the 6th inning there at Blue River Stadium. And the count now 0-2. And Midland leading Corpus Christi 5-3. Tulsa trailing Wichita just a run. Wind surge up in front 3-2 in the 4th. Arkansas winning against Northwest Arkansas 6-2. Pretty good ball game there at All-American Ballpark. Here's Braden Carpathios. 1 man down, nobody on. And that's going to be right there. And that is out number 2. And San Antonio now down to their final out here tonight. Texas Barbecue has been a proud sponsor of Missions Baseball, now in 2026 as they continue onward. Fabian 1 for 3, a home run, RBI, and a run here tonight. Coming up to the last of the San Antonio missions here tonight. Don't forget, Friday night baseball, $2 night. $2 hot dogs, nachos, soda. All you can think of is $2 tomorrow evening. Courtesy of the Flying Chanclas.
Saturday, post-game fireworks. Sunday, Bark in the Park Sunday. Kids and parents can run the bases. Father's Day baseball coming up. But if only Mother Nature allows us to play baseball, because thunderstorm activity is high on Sunday. Also into Monday as we get ready for the road travels to Corpus Christi. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Nobody on. Bottom of the 9th for San Antonio. Here's the pitch, and that one fouled off. Still hanging on as Fabian. Trying to avoid this game being shut down, which I think it already is. Here's the 2-2 offering, and that one's still foul. Fabian being the last man in the defense here in this one. Here's the pitch, and still fouls it off. 11-2, bottom of the 9th. The pitch. Swing and a miss. And Frisco now first place. Ouch. Boy, that's gotta stink for the San Antonio Missions. Now Missions losing that first place position. I gotta say, Bob, that is rough around the edges. RoughRiders final score 11-2 here in San Antonio. Boy, winning last night 6-0, now beating them 11-2, but they beat the dead horse silly. Yeah, I tell you. But anyway, pretty good ball game as we conclude this Thursday evening. And so far, a pretty good one here tonight as we wrap it up for the Missions. Carter Blumler is the win. Eric Youst is the loss for San Antonio. Dylan Drelling, 3 for 5, 2 home runs, 3 RBIs. Doing pretty good for Frisco tonight. And yeah, so far Eric Youst is the loss for the Missions. Gave up 4 earned runs, struck out 4, and only stayed in for 7. But anyway, pretty good ball game tonight as we conclude this one. So far, the third of the 6-game set comes to a complete close. And so far, 3 games left as we get ready to conclude the second to last homestand of 2026. But the last one will be up against Amarillo, which that would be pretty good too. But anyway, what the heck is that noise? Well, so far, Corpus Christi going pretty good on top of that one. Well, Missions would have to win tomorrow night in order to claim a tie-up against the RoughRiders, and they would have to win Saturday as well to claim back the first place position. Well, I got to say, John, the RoughRiders getting pretty good on top of that one, and so forwardly, they're doing pretty good. Well, Arkansas trailing 1.5 games against the Tulsa Drillers. So far, a pretty good ball game, but yet still a long way to go for our final 8 competitors here tonight. Or final 6, I should say. I do apologize about that. But anyway, we had a pretty good time here in San Antonio. Final score, Frisco 11-2, and they got even with the Missions. San Antonio took the first game really good, and then I think the RoughRiders say, ha ha, now we're even.
But anyway, hope y'all have a good rest of your night here. But before that, we'll give you the runs, hits, and errors here from San Antonio. 11 runs, 15 hits, no errors. And for San Antonio, 2 runs, 5 hits, no errors. Well, our game time, approximately 2 hours and 54 minutes of broadcast time here at Wolf Stadium. But so far, pretty good as we close her out. For my partner and I, Bob, and so far for everybody here in the Texas League, the final score, Frisco RoughRiders 11 and the San Antonio Missions 2. Well, we'll be back tomorrow evening, and for all of us, have a good night, and also safe travels home. Come back safely.